You haven't subscribed to the channel yet? Subscribe now. We have new stories every day. Now, let's go. The pause. Mark and Linda had been married for over a decade, raising two energetic kids in a bustling city. They were the classic high-achieving family, both with busy careers, balancing school drop-offs and dinners, homework and project deadlines. But as the years rolled on, life as a family seemed to morph into a project itself, scheduled and routine, leaving little space for romance or intimacy. Linda, who worked long hours at a marketing firm, had slowly begun to feel the weight of it all. It wasn't just her job. It was the whole cycle. Work, kids, dinner, work. Her days were a series of checkboxes, her evenings devoid of anything that filled her with life. One night, after another grueling day, Linda approached Mark with a heaviness in her eyes. "Mark," she sighed, I don't know how much longer I can keep going like this. I feel like I'm stretched so thin I could snap at any moment. I don't know who I am outside of work and just being mom." Mark put down his laptop, caught off guard by her vulnerability. He nodded slowly. "Linda, I get it. It's been intense for both of us, but I had no idea you were feeling this way." "What? What do you want to do?" She bit her lip, as if bracing herself. "I think I need a break. Just a little time to reset, to figure out what I'm missing." He frowned, unsure. "A break? Are you talking about from us?" "No," she blurted quickly. "Just space. I need to feel like myself again. I need to reconnect with whatever it is that makes me me." They sat in silence. Mark didn't know how to respond, after all. A break sounded perilous to him, but he respected her honesty and didn't want to shut her down. Finally, he nodded. "Okay, why don't you take a couple of weeks? Go somewhere. Take Sarah or Jessie with you," he said, mentioning her close friends. "I'll hold down the fort here, take care of the kids, and you just focus on you." Relief flooded her face. "Thank you, Mark. I really need this." 2 weeks later, Linda returned from her trip looking refreshed, sun-kissed, and relaxed. She'd spent her days on the beach, her nights laughing with friends, free from the weight of her responsibilities. But as Mark greeted her at the door, he noticed an unexpected distance in her demeanor. She seemed content but was oddly quiet, as if leaving part of herself back by the ocean. As the days went on, Mark felt the weight of her emotional distance. She'd sit across from him, smile, make small talk, but the warmth was missing, the connection stunted. One evening, as they were washing dishes side by side, he finally asked, "Linda, did something happen on your trip?" She looked at him, and a flicker of hesitation crossed her face. "What do you mean?" "I don't know, you just seem different," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Did you meet someone?" Linda's face flushed, her fingers going still over the soap suds. She looked away, gathering her thoughts. "Mark, there was someone, yes, but it wasn't what you think. It was just a harmless flirtation. He was charming, and he listened, and it just felt nice to be seen, you know. It wasn't physical, I swear." Mark took a deep breath, willing himself to stay calm. "Linda, I'm just going to ask this outright. If you'd had the chance, would you have wanted things to go further?" Silence fell between them, thick and heavy. She opened her mouth, then closed it, unable to find the words. Mark nodded, a sad understanding settling over him. "Got it. Mark, please," she whispered. "I didn't mean for this to happen. I needed to feel alive again." He looked at her, his heart aching, yet feeling oddly clear. "Linda, I understand, but maybe we need to face reality here. You're searching for something that you're not finding with me, and I'm not the kind of guy who wants to force anyone to stay." She looked down, tears brimming in her eyes. "I think maybe we should consider a divorce," he said softly, looking out the window as if speaking to himself. "But not right now." Her head snapped up. "What do you mean?" "We stay together for the kids' sake," he explained. "They're young, and I don't want them to go through this yet. So we keep it between us, and we live like everything's normal. When they're old enough, we can split, and they won't have to live through all this mess." Her face softened, and she nodded. "If that's what you want, I understand." And so the silent agreement hung between them. Months passed. They lived side by side, raising their kids as if nothing had changed. Friends and family noticed little differences. Mark's laugh was quieter, Linda's enthusiasm a little dimmer, but no one suspected the truth. The two of them had agreed to wait, to put on a performance for the kids' sake, and in the strangest of ways, it worked. They navigated birthdays, school events, family gatherings, all as a united front. But behind closed doors, Mark and Linda's relationship remained tense and polite, a far cry from the easy intimacy they once shared. One night, after the kids had gone to bed, they were sitting on the couch, both reading in silence. "Mark," Linda said quietly, breaking the stillness. He looked up, a touch of weariness in his eyes. "Yeah, thank you," she murmured, "for giving me the space I needed. I know I hurt you. I'm sorry. Truly." He nodded slowly, choosing his words carefully. "We're both doing what we think is best for the kids and for us." A pause, then she asked, "Do you ever think we could try again to make this work?" He looked at her, and though there was a flicker of warmth in his gaze, there was also an undeniable finality. "I don't know, Linda. Sometimes things just run their course." They sat in quiet, both feeling the weight of what might have been and what never could be. Psychologist's take. As a psychologist, let's unpack the complexities here. Mark and Linda's story reflects a common relationship dynamic. When life's demands weigh heavily, personal connections can suffer, leaving each partner feeling neglected and isolated. Linda's decision to flirt while away wasn't just a search for excitement, but an unconscious response to her emotional fatigue and need for validation. It's important to note, though, that neither partner is fully to blame. Both were deeply invested in family and career, but they lost touch with nurturing their relationship. In scenarios like these, couples therapy can help partners learn to communicate openly about their emotional needs and frustrations. Had Linda and Mark sought support earlier, they might have found healthier ways to address their disconnect. And Mark's willingness to remain civil and supportive, despite his pain, shows great emotional maturity, a trait crucial in preserving a healthy co-parenting relationship even after separation. In the end, their decision to live together for the children may have spared their kids from immediate trauma. However, it's a challenging choice that requires honesty, respect, and clear boundaries to prevent lingering resentment. This story is a powerful reminder of the importance of early intervention, ongoing communication, and prioritizing relationships amid life's inevitable pressures.